Alrighty, so got a lot of work done today. Well, it doesn't look like much, but I feel like I got a lot done because it took me like 4 hours I've been working on this thing. So this is the little support guy here, and I just notched it out. And I know it doesn't look like much, but everything fits in there pretty good. And I don't even think I have to re-weld tabs or mount it or anything because it holds it in there, just the way that the pocket is formed. So basically this is a piece of extruded aluminum. It has a hollow section here and a hollow section here. So I just notched it out. So this is actually supporting the intercooler, and then notched it around, and this is that piece of flat that goes all the way through it. So notched out around the radiator. So the radiator actually sits pretty nicely to where the factory support was. I don't have this bolted in yet, but it's in position where it can be bolted. I did test fit some of the bolts and everything does work. So this is all the way seated all the way in the position that it should be in. So all I have to do basically now is bolt it in. I did put a coupler on the bottom there just to test that. I bent some of the AC lines a little bit more, so this coupler's not touching anything. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do for the bottom section there. I was thinking I might just weld like some pie cuts, because I have a pie cut section of aluminum already welded 3-inch. I might just weld that on there and bring a section over that's welded right to the intercooler instead of using a coupler. But I do have to take the computer rack out of there. I have to figure out fans too. So there's a lot of room for the fans. The fans will fit. There's plenty of room. But my issue is my turbo. So I did all this before I decided I was going to do the Duramax intercooler. And this is about 4 1/4, 4.75 if I pull everything forward. And the radiator actually sits at about 6 inches. So what I might have to do is move the turbo, which I can probably angle it over this way a little bit. It sucks because I just built the thing, but that's kind of how things go sometimes. So I thought about trying to notch the fans and stuff, but I think I'm just gonna move the turbo a little bit. All I'll have to do is spin it, or I could stuff it down at this angle a little bit, but I guess that's just how things go sometimes. So I might just leave this whole tray section out. I don't think I really need it for anything. That is kind of secure in there, so should be okay. Or I could trim some of that out and secure it a little bit better. But overall, pretty happy with how it is. I mean, I'll probably just repaint this whole thing black or just leave it. I mean, I think it looks kind of cool, but I really like how it just follows the contour, and it looks like it was supposed to be in there. So a little bit of modification, not too bad. It took me longer, a little bit longer to do this piece than I thought, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. So now it's just kind of finalizing everything. I think I'm just going to loop the cooler lines. I do have an AN block though, which I was going to use. This little guy right here, I saved this thing off of, that was on the Z when I did the remote cooler before I bought the LOJ stuff. So I do have that thing if I want to put that on, and then I could do AN lines for an oil cooler. And I did save, I still have the oil cooler, or the old transmission cooler on the Ranger, because I went to the True Cool 40K, and I still have the old transmission cooler on there with 10 AN fittings on it, so I might be able to use that thing. So yeah, just kind of brainstorming, but there it is. Everything's pretty much in. The transmission cooler lines, I'm probably just going to add a section in or loop the cooler lines. It's not even worth showing you guys, but I'll probably loop those things and not run it through the radiator, and just run it straight through instead of trying to figure out what to do with these things, because these are a different size. Like, look how big these things are compared to this. So this is like the regular cooler line, and that's the Duramax one. So they're completely different size. Instead of trying to adapt this thing to go through the radiator, I'll probably just not do that. I normally don't run them through the radiator, so why change, right? So let's test the hood quickly. I mean, it's all underneath the factory support. I haven't actually closed it yet, so let's slam it. See if we pop a hole in the hood. Okay, that didn't close. Let's see if it closes. All right. Don't see any dents in the hood there. That should be good. She's dirty, real dirty. But all right, that was just a quick update. I didn't really record a lot because it was just a lot of cutting and grinding, and it was just kind of boring. So there's an update.